Hello everyone. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get around to Gigas. I wanted to look at him sooner, but I just had so little time, you know. He wasn't really a priority, but I was definitely going to get to him eventually. Now, what I thought I'd do in this one is, instead of jumping around practice mode, I've actually gone online. We're going to look at the balance changes here in the lobby, and then we're going to have a chance to try them out in real games. That's going to be interesting. So I'm not looking to rank up or do a lot of winning here or anything. It's more of a little experimental session with Gigas. But yeah, he's definitely a character who needed buffs, according to a lot of people. And initially looking at the changes, I'm not sure he got enough of them, but it sort of remains to be seen. One thing I reacted to as being very nice is the buff to this move. It gives you 5 more damage and it's safe on block. It still does this on counter hit, and I'm assuming still gives you the wall splat as well, meaning that that can be something like 90 plus damage if you have the wall in front of you. Very cool change. You know, we call doing this move in real life, for some reason it's called a Danish skull in my language, and I just realized that I only know of one famous skull in literature, and it just happens to be Danish. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. Anyway, let's look through the list here while we wait for a game, and then see if we can do some winning with Gigas. Uh, During Rage 4 3+4, so that's your Rage Drive, recover decreased by 7, that's cool. And then they made the Rage Drive 2 irreversible. And his Rage Drive is basically built to give you a free mix-up as a panic thing at the end. You get a free mix-up between Goliath 2 and Goliath 1. Problem being that the opponent can opt out of that situation by reversing the options. And so they've taken away the ability to reverse the 2 right now, so if they stand there and try and parry this, you're just gonna hit him. So that's cool, I think that's good. If you want to implement a Rage Drive that gives you a free mix-up, and that's the design of the move, then it should do that and not be so completely matchup dependent. So I think that's a nice change. Next, 2-1, they made, sorry, 1-2, they made this launch punishable, went from -14 to -17. It's pretty big. You're just going to have to completely think of this move as a block punisher now. It was always a block punisher, but you could also use it as a panic get off me move, and that's something that Gigas needs, because when somebody's in his mug like this, it's difficult for him to get out. And so he could throw this out and knock them away, and at -14 it was risky but not huge, but at -17 the risk is a little bit too big, meaning that you're going to have to use this exclusively for punishment going forward. The one jab by itself is still going to be a great poke, however. Then 2, opponent closer on hit, and 2-1. They made this extension come out quicker. So you have a nice little 22 10 frame punisher here. It's like a more standard jab string now. It still transitions into Golem. Let's see what else they changed. They made it slightly worse on block and hit, but it still gives you +4 on hit, meaning that if you punish with this, or you just jab at him with this and go into Golem, you're still going to get a mix-up, so that's good. I haven't looked at what they actually did to Golem though, but if they buffed this, then maybe they're actually trying to... Something they've done with a lot of characters is that when you have stances that aren't really used for mix-ups all that much, they've tried to create more like legit mix-up stances in the game, I feel like, but that's just my impression. Next, 2-1 3+4 added crouch status, so to this transition to Golem, maybe this crushes more consistently now. I don't know if that means that this transition has the crush properties, or that the stance itself has the crush properties. It would have been, in that case, a better option to just write down 3+4 or Golem has crush status. Oh, and this is another really cool little change they did. When you do the jump back from Golem, it used to be this weird little hop, but now it has a sound effect, and it shakes the screen a little bit, and it makes him feel a lot more heavy. It's super cool. It's purely cosmetic, but I think it lends you know, more impact to the character. I think it's a nice little change, even if it is cosmetic. Next, 3 had a damage. Yeah, both of the wrench kicks had damage nerfs. Which is unfortunate, meaning that I don't think for 2-1-3 is going to be a significant wall combo for you anymore. You're probably going to stick to one down for 1+2 for now, which is still great. His wall combo is very good. A jab into this is good damage. Next, forward 2, opponent closer on hit and counter hit. I don't know what that's for really, even though I can sort of notice it. This was never difficult to combo off of and counter hit. They're just in your face and launched, so you just, you know, you do that and it's very easy. With all of these closer on block and hit, there are so many of those changes, and some of them seem significant, some of them really don't, and it's hard to know exactly what the reasoning is. There might be some certain combo that they want you to be able to connect with easier here. I don't know. Were you able to get stuff like this earlier? That's gonna connect into the rage art now, which is pretty cool, I guess. But he might have been able to do that before. Next, for 2-1-1, the last hit had a 1 damage increase, which I don't think matters, and then they made it a lot more delayable like that, so you can probably hit confirm this pretty easily, which I think is nice. So this can be a good option, especially at the wall. I throw this out occasionally to get, you know, sometimes you finish a string that you don't usually finish, and it gives you a chance to get a knockdown and get in on an opponent who's turtling up. It's also sort of used for floor break sometimes, so that could be pretty cool. You can use this too. They didn't change this, I don't think. Okay, forward 2, forward 1 had damage buff to 20. That move, no sorry, that move, which is a powerful launcher for you. Very dangerous to use though, very duckable. But a slight buff to that move that you don't use all that much. Forward 2, down 1, 3+4. Oh yeah. So this is another Golem transition. So this thing, you can transition to Golem, and they say they've what added crouch status again? Yeah, okay. So that's another transition where you're probably going to be able to crush more properly when you go into Golem, and it looks like they're trying to make Golem a little bit better, which is cool because it was always kind of crap. So we got a lay here. It's been a lot of lay, and it's very stressful to play against him right now because we don't know enough about him to like how to counter him. He's got like low launchers, and he does a lot of falling leaf and stuff, jumping around in all these stances. But the opponent also doesn't really know how to use the character properly yet, hopefully, so it kind of balances out. I haven't played Gigas in over 6 months, I think, so I'm obviously going to be very sucky here, but it's, like I say, just a chance to explore some balance changes on a real opponent as opposed to just a sandbag, which I think can be interesting. Let's see if we can get one of those counter hit forward 1+2s. That would be cool. How do you set up counter hits with this character? Running 2, maybe? Alright, here we go. Tried some Golem. The buffed stance. Didn't quite get my my wall combo. Okay. Half decent first round, I guess. That's a whiff. That's gonna be a wall combo though. Let's try for a overkill. Okay, I messed up the inputs. That's crappy. Oh, there it is. The counter hit. But it was at an angle where I couldn't get the wall spot. It just killed straight up instead. That's falling leaves. That's the dangerous move you have to look out for with Lei. That's a low launcher that he has. This guy's gonna party with lows now. Just an indication that maybe he's a little bit upset about what's been happening so far. They changed that to mid-mid, which I think is cool. But it's punishable now, I think minus 13. We'll get to it. Alright, so lows and throws. It's a party animal right now. They nerfed that string. We're gonna get around to that. That down 3-2 was one of my favorite things to do with Gigas, and they made it a lot worse, I think. So it's pretty sad. Let's see if he wants to revenge match. I'm gonna have a sip of my cappuccino. I'm having fancy ass coffee today. Alright, looks like my opponent's done. So let's go back to the lobby and keep on exploring our balance changes. That you could tell that when I got that counter at forward 1+2, that was a mess up of the overkill throw. And the reason I didn't get the overkill throw out properly is that I only did half circle, almost a half circle back, but I stopped at down back. I didn't fully input the back, which is what you have to do to get that properly. But what I get instead when I mess that up apparently now is that you get the forward 1+2, and that's an even better option at the wall than it was before. So I'm guessing that it's almost it's pretty good because the throw is a high and the headbutt is a high. So it's not like the opponent, you know, if they reacted to the throw, they would have reacted to this in the same way. So the situation doesn't really change. But if you get the counter hit, you get massive damage, even more damage than if you connected with overkill. That's pretty cool, actually. It's the first time I've seen Gigas' back throw, I think. Yeah, so my overkill input is apparently a little bit rusty, so I gotta practice that. So let's do it out of a jab. There it is, okay. Let's try to do it out of a down 3. Okay, that's it. And the one I messed up that I apparently need to practice the most, down back 2. No, that's not down back 2. Okay, so I still have it in me. I was just trying to do it a little bit too fast. Alright, next. 4-2, 4-1. And then, yeah, we were talking about this Golem transition being buffed for its crouch properties. Next, forward 3 changed from -13 to -9. So this is now a safe move. Forward 3. That's pretty cool. So you can do that for a long range mid. This is very slow. The main reason you use it is it connects to the 2, and you can charge that up if they flinch, and then you can do, you know, stuff. So that's cool. Change from +5 to +9 on hit. Wow, that's really big. Active frame is decreased by 1 frame. So getting +9 here is pretty good. It completely locks your opponent down. They're obviously not going to swing, so you're going to have to mix mid and a low here, really. If they do swing, yeah, you can counter hit all day, but good players aren't never going to do that. So it's going to be about mixing maybe the down forward 1 here in with a down back 2. Pretty cool, I guess. Next, forward 4 forward. Yeah, so the transition into Goliath here. Recovery decrease. So it's the same change they did on the Rage Drive version. So Goliath in general has decreased recovery by 9 frames, meaning that you recover slightly faster. There might be some super significant thing he can do because of that, but I haven't figured that out yet. So if you know, put it in the comments, please. Forward 1+2. Yeah, -9 on block, +6 on hit, and 20 damage. Massive buff to this move. One of the best counter hit moves he has now. I don't remember exactly how fast this is on impact. We have to check that out. If it's, I mean, it's going to be somewhere around 12 to 14, right? Gigas frame data. Let's Google that quickly. Because if it is fast enough, it's essentially, this is a forward. These are the forward inputs. Forward 4, forward 2. Where's the forward 1+2? There we go. 13 frame move. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good. That's kind of what I thought. So it's not quite as fast as a counter hit 4, but it's still fast enough that it's going to work, kind of like a counter hit 4. And the really cool thing about it is that when you hit with a counter hit 4 with a character like Kazumi or Anna or Miguel, I mean, this is as much damage as you're going to get, or more than they're going to get from their counter combos. With Gigas, you just get it straight up, and you might even wall splat. So it's kind of like a combo in a box. It's like a combo in a tin. which is not bad at all. I really like it. You don't get Oki, but you do get the wall splat, and you definitely get like a mix-up situation when this charge ends right here, and then you can go straight into more stuff. So I like this change, and I'm going to try to use this move a little bit more today because I think it might be one of his more significant buffs. During Goliath 1, damage changed from 25 to 20, so they increased the damage of the 2, right? But they nerfed the damage of the 1. And that's probably to lend this mix-up situation a little bit more balance. I kind of get this. So the 2 is the really dangerous option that you can't reverse. It's unblockable. You can't block it. And so that's the one you're really looking out for. And then that means that the mid is something you're going to do maybe... yeah, what's the percentage going to be of how often you mix these up? 50-50? Not really. But you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where... the mix-up was you just go for either or, and you don't really have a preferred option. But what you want to do right now is hit with the 2. That's what your opponent's going to be the most stressed out of. That makes them more likely to duck, which makes the mid better. So it sort of changed the texture and the balance situation of this mix-up a little bit, is what I'm trying to get to. And I think it's probably a very good change for him. Yeah. And a good damage on the 2. If you delay it, how much do you get? 55. Yeah, it's very big. Imagine doing this out of a rage drive, getting that wall splat there, and then doing a combo. It's going to be like 80 damage, maybe 75. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, no longer reversible Goliath 2, but the 1 is still going to be reversible. Change from +7 to -2 on block, so it's minus on block now. Okay. Yeah. During Goliath 1 +2. So you got a damage buff on your belly flop, which is the third option you have out of Goliath, something that you would use to, you know, deal with those pesky people trying to reverse you and stuff. It's a pretty good option. What happens when you just do it normally? You get 35. That's pretty good. Down forward 1. This is an important move. Damage changed from 17 to 14, so it's a damage nerf on his down forward 1. That's really bad because this is an important move for him. It wasn't super good. It's not like it did too much damage in my opinion because it's slow on, it's bad on block. -6 to -9 on block, so now it's really bad on block. Changed from +7 to +4 on hit, so it's worse on hit. Opponent closer on block, hitbox expanded. I don't think it has more range. It might. But this is like a long-range interruption tool now. You can't really use it for poking all as much because you're -9, which is pretty bad actually. But I think that sort of means that they're trying to tell you that, okay, this, the down forward 4 and the down forward 3, this is what you use for close-up poking. And if you're trying to, you know, swipe at people from a range or like end the round, that's what down forward 1 is for. This is not an offensive poke at all anymore. It's much more defensive. So it has its role sort of defined, but it's an overall substantial nerf to the move, both the frame data and the damage. And that's sad because it's one of your main mids. Down for 2, damage changed from 14 to 15. Not really significant. Opponent closer on block, don't care. Opponent further away on hit, don't really care about that either. A little bit of pushback there maybe. Down forward 3-1, hits now chain. Hits now chain is the most exciting text you can get because you just got a new natural combo. Unfortunately, this is not really a super exciting string to get that on. What they've done here is that, you know how with down forward 1-1 from Katarina that doesn't jail anymore, you conduct the second hit. Down forward 1-1 from Akuma, down forward 1-1 from Miguel. All of those strings, it's a quick mid into a high, it's natural, but you conduct the second hit on block. This string is exactly that now. So they're basically saying with Gigas, your down forward 1 is actually down forward 3. And your down forward 1-1 is your down forward 3-1, and it's going to function the exact same way as this move does on Katarina, on Akuma, on Miguel, and all these other characters. So, okay, fine, it's a little poke string. Pretty decent, I guess. I mean, the damage is not there at all. Whatever. Down forward 1 while crouching 1. So you got better range on, or better hitbox on your down jab, which is pretty cool because sometimes you want to be in crouch with Gigas because you can set up launches and stuff from full crouch. Next, down 3. damage nerf. Okay, so this is one of my favorite moves with Gigas. It's one of the best moves he had, and this is like Kazumi. You really don't want to have your best moves nerfed and your shitty moves buffed, because it's not going to help you much. You really want your moves that are already good to be even better, and your moves that are ambiguously useful to be pushed into the very useful range. So it's a change that I disagree with. It was a very good move, an exceptionally good move, but you know, he doesn't really have anything else, so why not let him just have that then? And then the 2 extension had a 3 damage buff, but it went from -10 to -12, so it's much more punishable. You're at least not going to get twin pistoned for using it, so that's very important. Opponent reaction on counter hit was changed. I'm going to have to check out exactly what that means. If it's a launch, then I'll be pretty happy, but I'm going to assume that it's not. But let's pause our exploration of the balance changes for a little bit here and fight Anna. There's a lot of Anna online as well right now. She has 2 low launchers, so there's a lot of like kind of frustrating cancerous shit floating around right now, especially with that punish that Lars has that he definitely should not have access to. So yeah, it's a jungle right now, but it's a lot of fun, obviously, because of all the new toys we have. Running 2. Yeah, that extension works. And this is safe even at the wall now, so that's a very good wall spatting option to just throw out. And that's one of the low launchers. They're definitely going to come out with this character. The down back 3 is kind of difficult to see because it's not a traditional sweep. You know what I mean? Another low launcher, so this guy's trying to win. Okay. Very unfortunate. Everything was unfortunate. The way he plays is unfortunate, and the wall situation, everything else was unfortunate there, so not going to let him do that again. That's launch punishable now, so I probably shouldn't have done that there. Some down 3-2 maybe. Okay, throws low. Yep. Alright, so this is going so far. Set up a back 2 here, go for the new powerful unblockable maybe, yeah. Okay, so he's always going to go for the low there. It's worked too many times, and it's a guy who really likes lows. Sorry for being quiet, I just kind of wanted to focus up. I'm not playing to win, but all of a sudden I kind of am, because I don't like this guy. I'm sorry about that. I thought that would be launch punishable, apparently not. Okay, and now he's just straight up snake edging. That's mid-mid. Alright. I'm not going to revenge much. I didn't enjoy that much at all. I'm not trying to be salty or like unfair or anything. I think Anna's a cool character. It's just that right now, I think because people don't really know how to play her well yet, there's a lot of reliance on her low launchers. And this isn't the first time today that I've run into people who I think are a little over-reliant on them. And it's not super fun to play against, but never mind. I'm not going to sit here and be negative. Especially not when I won. Let's see, what else? Down. Yeah, next move is, I think, yeah, down 1+2. Down 1+2, this is your power crush. And this was turned into your wall bounce. I think it's very good to have wall bounce properties on a power crush move because it's very easy to wall splat or use power crush moves at the wall. This move was not very useful with Gigas previously. I didn't really use it. I didn't play the character a lot, but I didn't use it all that much. But now I think, you know, maybe if you can get a good wall bounce with this, it's going to be seen quite a bit more. It's going to come out. It's a very high damage hit. I don't know what Gigas will do to re-wall spot after the bounce. Maybe this into 1-2 would work. I'll have to try it out in game. So that's probably something I'm going to try if I find myself in a wall situation during the next game. Because yeah, this could be really good. You know, I do a lot of wall spotting with power crushes when I play Miguel, for example. I use his back for a lot at the wall. Next, recovery decreased on hit by 5, opponent close round block. Okay. Down back 2, opponent close round block. So this is easier to punish now. That's not too significant. This is a very good low and an important low for you, but it is punishable. Down back 1 plus 2, opponent reaction changed on hit. Okay, so this used to give you a mini combo in the shape of down forward 1, down forward 1, down forward 1, down forward 1, 4 forward 2, but it was hard to do. Now it looks like the down forward 1 is not going to reach anymore, so you can't do that. Can you get anything guaranteed? Is that guaranteed? It looks like it might be, unless they can back roll this. We can't really test that here because it's not practice mode. But 51 is very good, so maybe this, yeah, maybe this move is still useful, and maybe you can even get something else there. Maybe you can get running too. Let's check that out. No, it's too slow. Yeah, but I like that 51 if that's guaranteed. I still kind of like this. I don't mind it. I don't think the move is going to be super useful. I think the main time people used it previously was you could get it off like this, right? Or maybe it's this. I'm sorry, my Gigas knowledge is a little bit rusty right now. I'm probably still going to use back for those guaranteed knockdowns. That's what I used to do. It's not optimal, but it's good. It's solid. Down back 1 plus 2. Next, down back 3 plus 4, added crouch status. Okay, so they did do exactly what I said, and they just put that on the actual stance. But they wanted to let you know that you have that increased crouch property on the 2-1, 3 plus 4 transition, the 4-2, down 1 transition, and just the manual transition. So probably a lot better to be in Golem right now. And Golem is cool, so that's nice. Oh, and now we can get to the Golem moves. So this is going to be very interesting. During Golem 1, so this launcher here, which you've seen me use a couple of times already, property changed from mid to high, from high to mid attack. That's very, very cool. You definitely want your highs to be mids if you can. But then change from +5 to -13. So this is from very, very plus to extremely minus and quite punishable. So I'm not quite sure what I think about this. The fact that it was a high wasn't super significant because you were mixing it up with powerful mids like the 2. So I would have rather kept the plus frames. I think opponent closer on hit. On block. And next, Golem 2 change from -5 to -8. So this also had a nerf to its frame data. Opponent closer on block, opponent closer on hit. So what I don't get here is that if you want this to be a mix-up stance, why have you given me a mid and a mid? There's no difference between them except that this is punishable and this is safe, but this is still kind of minus, and this is also kind of minus. -13 and -8 respectively. And there's not really a lot of stuff you can mix in here to make your opponent not just stand block. Unless I'm missing something, if you're in Golem, they're going to stand block this and they're going to stand block this, so there's no incentive to duck, meaning that as a mix-up stance it's pretty useless. Like, do you have some sort of massive low you can do or something that I haven't heard about? I don't know. Very strange. I mean, if you're going to buff all the transitions into the stance, I guess what you're supposed to do is crush highs with it, so you're going to like try and make your opponent jab at you, go under jabs and then launch, kind of like AOP, only it's going to be so much worse than AOP because you only have 2 moves that are mids, both mids, and you also don't crush as well as AOP, obviously, because that's like the most powerful crush stance in the game. So I'm not seeing what they've done to Golem stance here. It seems to me like they've just completely kind of nerfed it out of the game. But I might be completely wrong, so you'll have to let me know how you're supposed to use Golem now. It's a good that it's a high crush stance, but it's you need to be able to incentivize your opponent to duck somehow. Otherwise, they're just gonna stand block all day. All right, it's Anna again. Let's do some mids. I had a feeling he was gonna go for low. Let's try and get a splat here. No, it's a little bit too close. Nice duck. It's probably not the punish you want to use there, though. Good choice. Okay, running 2 still good. Wow, that has some serious high crush apparently. Alright. Not quite gonna wall bounce. Oh, it did. I wish he'd lived so I could do something cool there. Counter at 4. He should have done back 4, I think, is the combo. That's duckable. I was too slow. Let's try the new while standing move. This thing. That's pretty powerful, actually. Alright. So we're sniffing up the butt of a promotion here. Let's go back to the lobby because I need to sort of think a little bit more about Golem here. During Golem setup, up back added jump status, so you can low crush with Golem jump back and you recover slower. I guess you can make something with that and come in with the 442. 442, by the way, is just going to be straight up your most important move with this character right now. I'm pretty sure. Running 2, of course, but 442 is just like one of the few moves you still have that if you looked over the entire move list and the whole roster, do you have anything that stands out as being better than what other characters have in this situation? And this is like the one thing you have that I think stands out as being exceptional. I think it's got tracking properties. I think it's good for Oki. It's an amazing wall splat tool, wall splatting tool now that it's safe even at the wall. Great distance. It's a round ender. It's just overall really amazing. But we'll get to it. I haven't read the changes in depth. We're gonna get to it. So back 1 got a 5-point damage buff. So this is incentivizing you to use back 1 a little bit more. Awkward thing about back 1 is you can't get your optimal combo. Your optimal combo from down 2 against large targets or normal targets like Dragonov is this. So that's 55 plus 16, so that's 71, right? You can't really do that off of this launcher as far as I remember. But let's try it. Oh, maybe you can. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. But it's a more powerful launcher now, and I think that's cool. Because this was punishable, but it had good crush properties, but it wasn't powerful enough that it sort of incentivized you to use it. But now it's kind of like a, yeah, it's like a little pseudo Matterhorn kind of lightning screw kind of thing, kind of like a backswing blow. Not really. Crushes highs. Yeah, I might use this when I have a read on a high. I think it's, yeah, why not? Little hit spark, 20 damage, cool. What else? Opponent reaction on mid-air hit and hit while down changed. Okay, I don't know what that means. Oh wow, does it hit grounded now? That's actually a pretty cool little Oki tool for you. I kind of like that. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's odd. Okay, this is getting interesting in terms of Oki. If that works, I mean, we can't actually make Dragonov stay on the ground and try what's going to happen, you know, when he's actually on the ground, different angles after a spike and so on. But if this is going to deal a decent chunk of damage to a grounded opponent and launch somebody who decides to recover into crouch, then you have one of those great options here that is going to cover 2 bases in terms of your Oki. Stay on the ground, it hits, get up crouching, and it launches. And so the only way to beat it is to get up stand blocking, and then you just need something good to catch that. You can charge up a back too, and if they stand up into that, now you have a mix-up for another wall splat. So yeah, I like this change. I'm going to be testing this out during my Gigas playing today and see if maybe they've made this move a lot more useful. So far, I think the move makes more sense now because it didn't see a lot of use before because it was kind of crappy. Opponent closer on hit, maybe to make it easier to combo off of, or I don't know. Back to forward, recovery decrease. So all of the Goliath transitions basically recover faster. Up forward 3, from +3 to +6 on hit. This was already a pretty good move with Gigas. It's one of your counter hit tools. You know, it launches. For good damage, but +6 on hit with low crush. Yeah, you don't have a hop kick, but this, you jump in from, it's pretty good with the range. You get +6, do that into overkill all day. Yeah, it's probably really good. Yeah, I'll use this more. I don't use it a lot, but I should. It's a move that is in common usage with Gigas because it is a good move. It's just that I don't use it all that much. Really nice. That's a buff. Up forward 1+2. Jump start change from 9 to 18. So you're considered in a jumping state later during this now, I guess. It's not really a move I used. You know, some people get crazy and do combos like this. But yeah, I don't really get it. Could be good for Oki, I guess, jumping over stuff. 442, here we go. Active frames increased by 1 frame. Good. Change from -13 to -8 on block. Very good. This is your most important move with Gigas now, pretty much. I love it. I'm having very strange deja vu right now. And I'm having... This is so weird. I feel like I've been exactly here explaining exactly this. But I also feel like I've talked about the fact that I've had deja vu in this situation before. So I'm getting super confused right now. Just give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My brain just short-circuited completely. 442. Yeah, it's one of your best moves. It was one of your best moves before, but it is now. It is going to be safe even when the wall decreases the pushback. Recover decreased by 1 frame, so you can even recover faster, and opponent reaction on changed on hit. I don't know what that means. To me, it looks like it does the same thing that it always did. But maybe not. It always sent them away a little bit to the side. Maybe it does it less so now. But yeah, it's a very, very good move, and it's better than it's ever been. And you should do this pretty much all the time with Gigas, because there's no downside to it. Unless you're whiffing with it, but you shouldn't because of how good the range is. There's almost never a situation where this isn't a good thing to throw out, so I think this is amazing. I mean, not when you're like up close here, maybe, but even then, it's decent. It's a very, very good move, and your premier wall splatting tool. 443. This is a move that didn't get used because it has shitty range, and it's like a why would you use it when you have 442? So let's see what they've done to change this. 3 more damage. Oh wow, look, that range is so bad. T-Rex legs. Well, I guess T-Rexes have pretty good legs. He has T-Rex arms for legs. What has shitty short legs? What's an animal with shitty short legs? Penguin legs. It's penguin legs. Fuck penguins. 443 changed from 20 to 23 damage. It became safe on block, so that's pretty cool. Recovery decreased on hit by 1 frame. Opponent reaction changed on hit. So it didn't used to do this crumple stun before, apparently. You don't get anything guaranteed here as far as I know. If you do, it's good, but you don't. Yeah, I still think that move is bad and it's not going to see usage, but at least it's safe now. But anytime you feel like using that, I'm going to go ahead and say use 442 instead, because you're going to get more range, wall splat, even better on block in -8. So yeah, 443 is shitty, I think. Again, I might be missing something. Maybe it's like a combo tool now, who knows. Okay, so we got a Dragonov here. I haven't looked through his changes, but it looked like they changed his down too. That's what I heard, so that's very good. I'm happy about that. Okay, let's stop using the changed list and focus up. I think this is maybe the last little game I'm going to play for the session, because we're getting to the last of the changes. So let's try and stick this win and get our promotions so that we can leave Gigas with a nice warm feeling in our stomachs. Oh, that's a horrible way to customize your character. Okay, so they're still gonna do it apparently. That was really bad by me. Yeah, I'm playing terribly here. I should be just winning this, but okay, it's the first round. Unless he messes up. Yeah, I completely had that. I was in the wall situation and everything, so very poor by me. Let's try the back one. Let's try it here, no? That's sad. Good duck. Forgot about that move. That's pretty good. It does something on counter hit now. I haven't checked it out yet. Okay, so those high crush properties feel pretty solid now. Big whiff. Stupid. Oh, that's a big mistake. I really want to win this now. I'm gonna shut up for a little bit. Nice whiff punish. Alright, one more. I'm sorry I'm being quiet, but like I said, I kind of want to win this one. That was probably it for this game. Yeah. Okay, fuck it, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the lobby. Should we revenge match him? Yeah, let's just revenge match him and win twice and we still get the promotion. That sounds like a good idea, right? I need to look at Dragonov's changes because he's probably still going to be, 50% of the Tekken community, so you got to be aware of what he's going to do. Apparently playing against him still feels awful. So what was I doing wrong? Let's be constructive instead. What was I doing wrong? Well, I was standing still the whole time. And I was whiffing big for no reason. So let's try and stop that for now, okay? It's like the two largest mistakes you can make as a Tekken player, pretty much. Don't move and whiff big. Good block. I shouldn't have done the move, it was too obvious. Alright, so now we're snake edging, so he's setting the bar for what kind of Tekken he wants to play, I guess. Alright, I'm still playing terrible, but maybe we can make the comeback. Big whiff, I was trying to go for the overkill. 4-4-2, like I said, I think it's your best move now. Should have punished that much harder. I knew that was going to happen too. Like, he's done that several times. I don't know why I did the running two. I should have stopped and done 4-4-2 instead. Gonna break that. Oh, it's like you can block everything he does. It doesn't mean you're actually going to be able to do something to him, you know? Ah, Dragonov. Rage drive. Come on, do it. Alright, I'm gonna play this guy one more time because I want to get the promotion. And then we'll look at the last of the changes and then we'll wrap this video up. And again, I'm sorry if I'm sounding negative. It's just that I don't do a lot of playing online when I'm talking. So I'm always like in a good mood when I'm making videos because you don't see me actually lose, you know. But we all get a little bit on the saline side when we have to play Dragonov online, you know. So again, we reduce some of those mistakes, but we're still making big ones. I'm not backdashing because I feel like I'm moving around a refrigerator with Gigas, but that's always the case when you're playing him.
Round one. Fight.
That's natural now. Counter hit. Alright, down 3, still a good low poke. Let's try for a side step 2 here just for fun. It worked. That's a big whiff. 1-2 is still good for whiff punishing.
Round three. Fight.
Good sidestep. Down for 2. Wall combo. Not really. It's a very obvious low. That's bad. Okay, so that's his wall bounce, apparently. That's one way to end a round. Alright, so we managed to clutch it out. I'm probably going to keep on playing Gigas today because I can tell after 6 months of like not touching him, my game with him is so bad that I don't really know what to do. And when I don't know what to do, it's difficult to move. I don't know, but that's kind of how it works with Tekken in my experience. When you're not comfortable with your character, you're not focusing on movement. But when you are, you sort of have that move that you want to do or that thing you want to set up sort of at the tip of your tongue. And so you're moving around and you're super agile because you're looking for that opportunity. But when you're sort of stale with your character, the actual movement of the character becomes stale as well. But yeah, sorry I didn't have the time to show off so many of Gigas' new tools during these games, but you know, I'm not familiar with them so far. I wanted to get this a little bit more. But let's look at the rest of the balance changes. So running to opponent closer on block, and that's pretty nice actually, because this used to have a lot of pushback, and it gives you plus frames on block as far as I remember. Let's see how many. Running to 4-4-4-2 gives you +7 to +10 according to RB Norway. That +10 sounds a little bit ambiguous to me, because that would mean that you can get a 1-jab guaranteed. Maybe that's true, maybe not. But it's plus a massive amount on block, meaning that you don't want your opponent to be pushed away. You want them to be close to you so that you can, do overkill and stuff and do other important moves for mix-ups. So very, very good. Yeah, and forward 1 +2 after running 2 is probably a good idea now, because that's a massive counter hit tool. While rising 3, opponent closer on block, so this has been made easier to punish. It used to have a lot of really good pushback, which I liked, so that's crappy. It's very slow for a while standing launcher, so I think it deserved to have that pushback. While rising 4, opponent closer on block. While rising 4-2 added new move. So this is his, I guess, 13 frame. I've been saying 13, I hope it is. While standing 4-2. Let's have a look. While standing 4, yeah, 13 frames. So this is your optimal 13 frame block puncher. It's good. I mean, I should have been using this a lot more than when I blocked lows. It's 35. I think the Oki is pretty decent because of the 4-4-2. So yeah, again, like you didn't really need buffed block punishment from while standing. Well, you did, but it's not the thing the character needed. So it's nice, but it's sort of a they're sort of missing the target, even though they're adding good stuff here. Next, while crouching down for 2, yeah, this became a counter hit launcher, and I think you can actually just do. Do you have to crouch cancel still? Yeah, so you can crouch cancel and you can get normal combos here. So normally you just crouch cancel into Excavator, and that's good damage. There it is. That's the guaranteed version. And now if you get the counter hit, you still want to crouch cancel. But if you do, you can get your higher damage combos, and that's probably not max damage, but that's 56 plus 16, which is 60, another brain fart. 56 plus 16 is 66 plus 6, which is 72. So that's really good. Next, and this is going to be the last change, they made his sidestep to a homing attack. So now there's a small incentive to use this move, other than the fact that it looks and feels amazing to hit with. But it's still going to be, I guess, punishable. It's still going to be a duckable high. But yeah, now when you're out here and your opponent is sidestepping, if you can jump in and catch them with this, then it's going to be so cool, because it's such a cool looking move. Overall, my impressions of Gigas is that I think your counter hit game was buffed because of this. I dislike the nerf to this move, and I'm sort of either completely misunderstanding Golem, or they've kind of fucked Golem over, because I don't really see how you're supposed to mix people up when you have 2 mids that can just be stand blocked. I like the fact that you can no longer reverse Goliath 2. It's going to make that more powerful, and they've given that a damage nerf as well. So yeah, I think Gigas is a little bit more powerful, but not to the extent that maybe he needed to be. I'm going to take this game. But yeah, that's going to wrap up my impressions of Gigas. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I feel like it's a while. And I hope if you are one of those brave soldiers who main Gigas out there, then you didn't get a 13 frame launcher, you didn't get a 12 frame block puncher that launches with rage, you didn't get a hell sweep, but at least you got something. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time.